Yeah.
Yep, good.
Can't blame on it.
We good now? All right, good morning. My name is Austin. I'm one of the organizers here at 1 Million Cups. Raise your hand if you're an organizer. If you're here, new here, find them, tell them you got a speaker, or if you want to speak, or you have a friend that you know would love to speak at this. So the purpose of 1 Million Cups is building an entrepreneurial ecosystem. I don't know how you say entrepreneurial daily, Doug. I really don't know how you do it.
A year and a half.
Good God. Moving on from that difficult word this morning, it's too early to be trying to say complicated words. Find us and let us know if you've got a speaker that would love to come and talk about their business. Here are some of the sponsors that make this morning possible. I do know SMB has some cool swag over there. They've got a cutting board. Yes, I'm friendly. Not wearing an SMB name badge. It is our best, but we're still good friends. No hurt feelings. No hurt feelings. Is that getting in? No slide for Nana
I
Claus.
gotta change it.
See what I did there? Yeah. Come on down. Oh, you gotta change it over.
Good morning. I'm so glad to be here this morning. I know he's going to put that up. That isn't me.
Your jazz isn't working for my stress relief.
My jazz. There we go. You can go right to the second slide, please. All right. Well, it's that time of year when I get to do some fun stuff for free for people, and that would be become Mrs. Claus. And Mrs. Claus loves to go out in November and December and do some fundraising for not-for-profit organizations. I like to visit schools and nursing homes. I like to visit people in general, okay? So I just have a good time doing this. And this is one of my ways to give back to the community. So I'm already booked for the Neo Show Christmas Parade and the Carl Junction Christmas Parade, and I'm doing Big Brothers and Big Sisters fundraiser, the Ronald McDonald House on Saturday. I suggest you come to that. Their Gift of Love, Gift of Lights. I'm also going to do in Pittsburgh, that train that Watco has, that Christmas train. So those are a few of the things that I'm already booked for. But I have plenty of time to do some other things for any of the organizations, churches, whatever that you work with. I would be more than happy to have somebody give me a call. I did leave my business cards up there. But let's go to the next slide. That's me. That's me. All right. So the other thing I do, which is not my free give back, is that I write handwritten letters that I craft individually based on a questionnaire that I give out for children and adults, because it's not always kids that get one, all right? And so I have things that I ask in the questionnaire, and then that person who's giving the gift will send that to me, and then I hand write a letter for them using Zeta-Bloser cursive, because I'm old. Mrs. Claus learned how to write cursively way back in the 60s, and so you get this beautiful letter that's handwritten. Everything is unique. There's not a template that I follow that says, okay, dear so-and-so, blank. It's not like that. It's I read all the answers to the questionnaire. There are 12 questions, and then I go from there with what just comes to me, and I feel like it will make it rich for that child or that adult. So because I'm asking about friends, and I'm asking about things that this person is proud of that they have done, and things that they would enjoy, doing in their lives, and so that I can say, I've watched you grow here or whatever. So very unique, okay? And so what I really want to do is ask for your help, all right? Right now, pretty much, other than I'm going to do a Facebook Live with Cabby tomorrow, everything I do is word of mouth, which has gotten me quite far. I also sent out specific letters to some organizations that picked me up, like the WAPCO and whatnot. So beyond that, I'm not big social media, and I don't know that I'm ever going to be big in social media. But looking at this area, I'm assuming that you would tell me Facebook is what I need to do. Do you think I need to create a Facebook page specifically for Nana Claus.
Yeah.
Yes. And now I don't plan to have a complete website for Mrs. Claus, but I might down the road. But I have 2 websites now that I work on, and I don't know if I can really justify a 3rd website for a month and a half a year, okay? But maybe down the road. Where beyond Facebook would you suggest that I market myself to go out to the community for free?
We need to link it to your Instagram also,
Instagram.
because they link them together.
Okay.
They post on one and they're doing both.
Okay, so Instagram, again, you know, it's not been my thing. So, I mean, my LinkedIn account doesn't make sense. So I haven't done much with LinkedIn for this because I have 8,000 contacts all over the world. And it would not be free for me to go to Australia, you know, or wherever. So that makes no sense to me to put it on LinkedIn. But that's been my main focus for my business. So Instagram and Facebook. What else can you recommend? Yes.
This is a little bit more organic, but if you're up to getting dressed up as you are today so beautifully, pop in an Empire Market on a Saturday. Have business cards.
Oh, okay.
Surprise the little kids. Have somebody with you that captures that on video. And now you've got content for your Facebook page. But then do that with other areas too. Maybe if it's a book fair, get the permission from the high school principal, and you just pop in, and then they see, and then you just leave business cards behind.
Okay. And I was thinking I probably ought to get specific to Nana Claus business cards as well. I got some work to do.
Web City Farmers Market be good too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be on the morning shows.
Yeah,
So
I was gonna
I'll-
say TV, but I know you do TV and stuff like that. The other thing I thought of was reaching out to service club organizations. Like I'm president at Rotary, and we do programs. So you could come in and talk, because a lot of times in like Rotary, excuse me, Seroptimus, even like Kiwanis, stuff like that, the people that are in the room are some of those community leaders. I know like for Web City and CJ's, like we have both superintendents, we have both mayors, like we have all the people that you maybe want to contact with that could like spread that out, and that's a free option just to get the word out.
That's great. That's great.
Have you connected with area libraries?
I have not talked to you.
Yeah.
Yep, that was one of my goals today.
But, you know,
I feel like we had another like Mrs. Claus reach out to us too. Is there like
I heard, I have not seen, but I have heard that there was a woman in Web City, but she's not well right now. So I said, you know, if she had promised things to somebody, if you talk to her and she's unable, that I would try to fill, but I'm not trying to displace.
I don't think that we actually had a booking, but I heard that someone who was Mrs. Claus had come in to see, what was going on, and I was like, I don't think that was you. So yeah.
Not yet.
Maybe you could do a Nana Claus book reading or something at a library.
Oh, absolutely,
That'd be fun.
absolutely. Okay.
Sorry, this is like I'm thinking outside the box.
Good.
I call it brain dump. So the other ones I was thinking of is, could you work with either florists to do a Nana Claus delivery, and you work with them about, hey, someone, a family is not feeling well and someone wants to send flowers, but you work with a florist and Mrs. Claus actually is the one that delivers it, and that's part of the package. And then obviously you'd have to work something out with one of the local florists of payment and that sort of thing, but that just be something extra.
That'd be nice.
Piggybacking off of that, the police departments and fire departments do a ton around the holidays.
Yeah, that's the thing too, is CJ shop
The
with a
shop with a
cop.
cop.
And that's another thing too, Rotary, Web City and CJ, we help with both of them, and they usually have a Santa, but we haven't had a Mrs. Claus.
Yeah.
So the only thing that I am more than happy to reach out, and I will. But there are some Santas that do not want a Mrs. Claus around them.
Yeah.
It's all them, and if there's a Mrs. Claus, they will not, they will just say, don't have her with them. Because even if I don't say, I'm gonna have a chair next to you or whatever, they want it to be them, which is fine, you know, so, but I know that there are some.
Well, then Mrs. Claus needs her own chair at the mall.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I've even thought about going in there for a, you know, like if a not-for-profit could get into the mall for a day and for like 4 hours to say Mrs. Claus would not be in that part where Mr. Claus is, but to have, you know, a not-for-profit do something there where people can come in and do pictures. So.
Also, just saying it's Shop with a Cop, it's a Walmart, it's a big store. If Mr. Claus doesn't want you there, they can't stop you from walking around too.
Well, honestly, there was one year, well, like at least with the CJ one, I'll have to talk to Mark McCall, the chief, but there was a couple of years that we did Shop with a Cop, and they actually didn't even have a Santa.
Yeah.
So,
I'd be glad to.
yeah.
Yeah.
But floral shops, that was
Well, that's a grand idea. Thanks. You guys see, that's why we come.
Have you gone to nursing home?
I have gone to a couple. I did when my mom she was not in the nursing home, she was associated with it, and so I did that. But I'm more than happy to go in to any nursing home. There's one that I know I'm gonna go to this year, because we've already worked that out. But,
What about hospitals?
I have, you know, I have tried both Mercy and Freeman to, like, I started in July trying to get, and you can say, I've had fingerprints, I've had, you know, Vertus, I've had all kinds of stuff. And I have not, I mean, they'll contact me and then I say, what do you need me to do? Do you need me to come in and get more fingerprints and blah, 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 to do that? And it just kind of disappears. It's not ghosted, but it's kind of disappears. And then I'll reach out again. So I've probably reached out twice and nothing so far, which surprised me, but you know, I don't know that they have Santa in there either. So it's not, maybe it's unprecedented to go in, but I'm willing. All right. So I thank you so much for all your great ideas. It was very helpful.
If you're gonna get cards made up, make sure it has your picture on it. The other thing you can do is put a QR code on it, where they scan that, it'll actually take them automatically to like a registration for your appearance.
Okay,
It's an idea.
great
Yeah, you need a
idea.
website. You have to have a website.
A separate website.
Yeah, you need a website for this clause.
Yeah, because what I did is I changed my website so that the homepage is Mrs. Claus right now.
That could work.
But-
You could build a landing page on an existing website. That
You
would
know,
work.
and so that's what it shows rather than the business and educational consulting part, so, yes.
Can they book it online or request you online?
They can, I want them to email me because I want to have a conversation to find out what and when and where, more so than you get there, because I want to find out like what their concept is of what I'm gonna do. So it helps me, you know, so that I can then say, oh, you're gonna have something from 4 to 8, but you only want Mrs. Claus there for an hour. That's fine, but I'm willing to do the whole thing, you know, if you want. And if you don't, that's fine, because I don't wanna disrupt something as well. But I just would, that way, if I know that you want me to from 4 to 5, then I can pick up another something for somebody that's at 7.
I think
But
it needs to go to like a registration with like name, phone, email, and then you email them. But I think you
That's
definitely want.
what I have on my site right now, is a link that does that, name, address, or not address, name, email, and a little message part, and then you submit it and I get it, and I follow up. So, all right, thank you so much.
Fantastic job.
No,
Doug, come on down. You can either wear the Britney Spears mic or the,
No, it's Santa Claus.
excuse me.